schools cry. And then also open. And then private schools over the county. The way over here that you get
Papalaw Radio. Straight up. Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
And also with y'all, so I'm saying, you know, God of War, and then they got God of War, and they take your own kind of war. You say, and then you're back. Private schools cry on one by the town. And then also open. Who says, I said, and then private schools over the town. The way over here, get to get that. Way over here.
Effort to move Africa in the direction of unity at the economic front, but the suspicions in Africa are too great. The African politician is perhaps, with due respect to them, Africa's curse. The day the African politician realizes that the occupation of political office and political space is one of servant leadership, that is the day Africa will begin to move in the right direction. The day the African politician realizes that the occupation of public space and public office is an honor and a privilege, that is the day Africa begins to move in the right direction. The day the African politician recognizes that the occupation of office is not one for the privatization of public wealth, that is the day Africa will begin to move in the right direction. The day the African politician recognizes that they do not have the monopoly of wisdom, that is the day that Africa will begin to move in the right direction. The day the African politician realizes that longevity in office is not the solution to African problems, that is the day Africa begins to realize the potential. The day that the African politician begins to remember that the electoral vote is a charge for them to deliver on health, on agriculture and education, that is the day Africa will begin to know her place in the world. The day the African politician is liberated from the chains of greed, that is the day that Africa will realize the potential. And I say all that because it is not lost on me that one of the reasons why Africa cannot unite is because we have become so used as politicians in Africa to our little countries where we are treated like demigods. And because we too, we who are the led, we have treated our leaders as demigods for too long, and they now are conditioned to believe that they are gods. You know, respecting leaders is a good thing, because that is what is right. Once you have given people the privilege to serve you, you give them respect. But respect must be earned. Many times in my own country, in Kenya, I see the individuals, some of the individuals that we elect into public office, some are
Papalaw Radio.
But some are not. In fact, most are not. And in my rural village, they elect some semi-illiterate individual who everybody knows is semi-illiterate, and everybody knows he is not wise.
Papalaw
But the day
Radio.
after his election, when he attends a forum such as this, those who invite him to speak will say, Let so and so whom we elected yesterday share his wisdom with us. And I want to assure you that there is no magic in the ballot box. If you are a dunderhead, the mere fact that you have been elected does not convert you into anything. You just remain an elected dunderhead.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
And Africa has no shortage of dunderheads who are leading her in the wrong direction. The direction of disunity.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
NDC for no and information in they don't trust Nkofo, so we have security. No compromise. Please.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Now, only part that send the hospital and paso 122 citizens. Akola wa 17-year-old na akola na wu on to bill near local. And when you see
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
A bit me development must see a person. Say ubekumi the easiest death. Adi amen pe say me who me papa de o si gene ani wiase. Na fe obewu oda ho na obre no. Ewurade me nya accident pan me ko. Ana wo mo so mbekum
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
5 minutes I'm gone.
It is only Ghana and I would the economy
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Strategies. MPP for woman clean campaign umbenyasem because media okay me reply obi also your strategies embra you take over power na dollar your 4 cedis and then dollar and 12
Papalaw
cedis.
Radio.
We are
Straight up.
strategies. Excuse me, strategies. More strategies.
I am very dangerous. What you
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Or buy your premises at the say me muno near baby amitia. You are bad. Sa Ahmed no. Mun show no pictures no near where.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Yes. Ayinini boy no Ahmed no. Woni a friend Ahmed. The picture back am fan to so na yakes. God good. The picture back what Madina ya. What bad premises of a muno.
So as you can see rolling on the screen.
This is a boy. Or a bad boy.
And debate
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Plans for our country. Our plans will include an aggressive job and entrepreneurial program in the public and private sectors that will deliver a minimum of 250,000 jobs every year. And a total of more than 1 million jobs across the country by the end of my term in office in 2024. We will put Ghanaians back to work to earn a decent living. We will, as part of an Integrity for Development Action Plan, launch what I call Operation Sting. Operation Sting will be an anti-corruption crusade which under my watch will involve massive, far-reaching and practical government reform. It will be a ruthless system that fights against all corrupt political appointees and public sector workers. It will be a requirement for all who serve in my
Papalaw Radio. Straight
to
up.
publish their assets declarations and have the same audited by the Auditor General. Of course, the elephantine size of government
Papalaw
consisting
Radio.
of
Straight up.
reduced drastically.
Programs are
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
New Patriotic Party programs are Diego Hono, a bedu baby no, Yada Crank or Fofia Manone, no mother Yajuma Ogana. Nasa Juma Assam Nayaka, New Patriotic Party programs are
Papalaw Radio.
a bedu
Straight
baby no,
up.
Yada Crank or Fofia Manone, no mother Yajuma Ogana.
Shall protect the public purse.
I shall protect the public purse.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
I shall protect the public purse. I shall protect the public purse. I shall protect
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
In this country, President AKUFO-ADDO, Mama will show down. Vice President
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Mama chasing me agent. I'm not going to shut them. What do you miss? What do you bet you in your best? Yes, but my challenge President AKUFO-ADDO anytime. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. Stop us all for position. I'm going to position.
Hey.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Na obiye bisa me amamu na ekosa yi meso a wo be bisa fa amamu ekosa me kula me na mo bi ni di
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Say wa obe suffer most ama party no akun ho no wo na wo bere ene me na me mantemu a na obiye bisa me amamu na ekosa yi meso a wo be bisa fa amamu ekosa me kula me na mo bi ni di
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Wa obe suffer most ama party no akun ho no wo na wo bere ene me na me mantemu a na obiye bisa me amamu na ekosa yi meso a wo be bisa fa amamu ekosa me kula me na mo bi ni di
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Incompetent Mahama administration. MPP is going to come and transform Ghana in one and a half years. When we come, we'll give you one district, one factory. Ghana,
Papalaw Radio.
Ghana,
straight up.
Yet is the castle. I come there. But this is slang, you know. In fact,
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Maybe I can say, hey, Charlie, I quit your binfo. Fellow Ghanaians.
Within 18 months of a new government of the NPP,
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
the face of our country, Ghana, is going to change. Within 18 months of a new government of the NPP under my leadership, the face of our country, Ghana, is going to change. Within 18 months of a new government of the NPP under my leadership, the face of our country, Ghana, is going to
electricity tariff, no, they are about the tissue. We're coming to reduce electricity tariffs.
I'm not saying to me, secret, you know.
And yet to me, I'm never going for say, they about the bomb chrono, my Tassegana for Sika, about the same go to quote. Yeah, nothing I'm not to me. Yeah, Bagana, a Tupo, a Mexica, and a Hoto, and near Juma.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Friday, and to Ghana.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
I am mobile Prado. Yet is the castle, and so I come there.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Onyakuboma me kwana me ba ye banya ma the sesa sande me nyina
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Unnecessary because of some reports that
in the first 2 years of an MPP and administration
officers and there are
Papalaw
9
Radio.
or so agencies
Straight up.
represented in any passport application center, that these people represented from the various agencies, and I will not say that my own officers are not part of it, but these people
Papalaw Radio.
are involved
Straight up.
in illegal activities. And when I say illegal activities, we all know. Just 2 days ago, the report in the Daily Guide that the issue of Goro people involved in our passport acquisition process has become
Papalaw
right.
Radio.
It is
Straight
wrong.
up.
How can 100 Ghana for standard service
corruption
to acquire a passport and 150 for
Ghana corruption
be bumped up to 2,000 and 3,000.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Charging 3,000. And it's wrong. But I can say, and we all would agree, that a Goro person is outside the passport office. They need somebody inside to work with. They cannot do it on their own. People are paying 3,000, 2,000 to acquire passports.
Ghana corruption.
Why should this be so?
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Even carry the so-called service that they promised them.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
The stories are horrific stories. People's experiences are not the best.
Ghana corruption. It's a bonsam and the bonnet.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
In the gods of English to pardon me, manu from basa. I said that.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
On sait, l'argent n'aime pas le bruit. To it, money does not like noise.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
I don't know why I belong to that political party.
Meanwhile, the African leader was busy looting from their countries and buying mansions in Paris and in London and in Florida and driving private jets and helicopters and being addressed as their excellencies and honorables instead of being addressed properly as horrible. Meanwhile, the African leader
Papalaw
was busy
Radio.
looting
Straight up.
from their countries and buying mansions in Paris and in London and in Florida and driving private jets and helicopters and being addressed as their excellencies and honorables instead of being addressed properly as horribles. The African leader
Papalaw
was
Radio.
busy
Straight up.
looting from their countries and buying mansions in Paris and in London and in...
Mubisa certificate. Yes, sister Kolanu pick up no aye kono. Ya hwisa mamono. Mubisa omu certificate.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Mubisa certificate. Mubisa MPP for no mutimi ma adwuma no. Sir, emra ye koye campaign.
Be careful. Polygamy. Sit down. Nature even supports polygamy. There's no animal that has one wife. The Bible says, does not even nature teach you? Bring it up. Does not even nature itself teach you? Yes. Wait. Yes, nature teaches. Which goat has one wife? Which dog has one wife? I'm not afraid of the Bible. Are you afraid of the Bible? We are afraid of the people that we love and our heroes whom we follow. They have one wife. Oh, but nobody knows when it became a sin. Yes. No, I'm
Papalaw Radio.
So,
Straight
Paul
up.
said that you should be the husband of one wife. In the same chapter, he said you should not drink water again, but only wine. Why don't we follow that one? Why do we select some of the things that he said? He said the women shouldn't preach. Look at women who are standing here preaching. If anyone says he's a prophet or spiritual, I should acknowledge that what I'm saying is from the Lord. The woman should not preach.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
When I look at the economic management team, it is quite clearly a fantastic team. Professor Jambafo, Dr. Akutose, Dr. Afriye Akoto, Honorable Alan Chiramanting, Boachi Ejaku, Ken Oforiata, Senior Minister Yao Osafo Mafu. What a solid team. In fact,
Papalaw Radio.
can anyone
Straight up.
remember the NDC economic management team? I'm sure they themselves cannot remember who their economic management team was.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Kukrudu.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
We were elected to fix the problems, and I'm glad to report that we are fixing the problems. And we are putting in place the policies that will drive the economic transformation of this country. It is very clear that Africa the economy is beginning to respond to the policies of Nana Addo Dankwa AKUFO-ADDO. When I look at the economic management team, it is quite clearly a fantastic team. Professor Jambafo, Dr. Akutose, Dr. Afriye Akoto, Honorable Alan Chiramanting, Boachi Ejako, Ken Oforiata,
Papalaw Radio.
Senior Minister
Straight
Yao
up.
Osafo Mafu. What a solid team. In fact, can anyone remember the NDC economic management team? I'm sure they themselves cannot remember who they
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Yeah, Bonnie said, I could call you baby. I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, Tom, I'm Midiano. I'm a whole premise. Buy a penny in Tamo. Namia made me also. Made me also. Send up any away.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Ah, Obray. Odi Pani or B-Ray.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Anywhere. Obra.
Papalaw Radio. Straight up. 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 Papalaw Radio. Straight up.
Mine no say you. Now say a blessed afternoon from the studios of Papalaw Radio. We're streaming live, rock and wide on www.mountainghana.com, online radiobox.com. 23 minutes on top of the hour, 1 p.m. GMT in the studios of Papalaw Radio. We're streaming live and rock and wide on www.mountainghana.com, online radiobox.com. Or branding near Wawa Ball. Life is all about what you do with your life today. What you do with today will determine your future. Mpɔtam show with Papalaw Perfect. I nearly said morning. Anyway, good afternoon. The presidency of Ghana, the judiciary, the parliament of Ghana. Good afternoon, Ghana. Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, Europe, Asia, the Caribbean, United Kingdom, United States of America. The best is yet to come. Mpɔtam show with Papalaw Perfect. Don't forget we're streaming live on www.mountainghana.com, online radiobox.com. God is good all the time, and all the time the Lord is good. Alright, so I want you to hit the share button, share the message on your page, on your timeline. Send the link to your friends. Tell your friends the best is yet to come. I want you to know that on this show, I'll be sharing with you the weather forecast for today. I'll share the headlines with you, news that are making headlines in our various newspapers and news portals. We'll do the editorials, and then we'll do politics with the politicians. Don't forget, it's your best political show on Papalaw Radio. Show produced by the Prince of Princes, or Hiniba Kofi Prince. He's steering the affairs of Mpɔtam show. He's the only PhD holder at Papalaw Media. Don't ask me how he got it. He's the best person to explain. Asembe badabi obrane ne wawa bo anuti no bia gene PhD or the TA. At Papalaw Media we have intellectuals. We have great minds and great ideas. All right, so my director is already here, Mr. Kingsford. He's already here. And then MAC Black, the drive time host. In fact, if you want the best drive time program on radio, the only place is Papalaw Pillow Low Drive with MAC Black. All right, so you'll be telling more about what is happening in the entertainment circle. A lot is happening in the entertainment space. How I love this song. Life is all about you. With God and with you, all things are possible. God will play his part. You got to play your part. Good afternoon, doctors and nurses. Good afternoon, lab technicians. Good afternoon, mechanics. Somebody told me you don't talk in current affairs and best in politics. In fact, today we're going to talk more. All our conversation is centered or will be centered on Honorable Razak Hussein is the current secretary, the NDC Madina constituency. And then on the MPP's front, I'll be having Honorable Car. Oh my goodness, it's going to be fireworks today. Radio is going to be sweet. Ebeye de war. Oma Penyuku for the Ghana. Ebeye de war. Now mo sa for na mo say mo pese kakum mo ko mine no. Nyami humo mobo. E kakitu bi na me kase nyami tua moka. Mo adwapade a ye nananom agyato ho for many years. Tie omanfo ne se mo bese o mu so mo bese o mo nsase, mo bese o mo no baye, mo bese o mabrabo mo de yade betoto o mo so because eniama mo de tutu sa goodie no. E dangerous for human life. To the show. The name remains Papalaw Perfect. We're streaming live and rocking wide on www.multighana.com, onlineradiobox.com. I want you to hit the share button and share the message on your page, on your timeline. Send the link to your friends. Don't forget to share with your friends and family members. I'm going for a break. I'll be right back. Stay right here. 34 minutes on top of the hour, 1 p.m.
Papalaw Radio, straight up. Papalaw Radio, straight up. Papalaw Radio, straight up. Papalaw Radio, straight up. Papalaw Radio, straight up.
Odi pani o bire eni wara obra eni wara obra eni wara anadia mapanyino awami akomesika ma brabwe zene na fomo adianchi
Papalaw Radio, straight up.
Fami nasuma kwejmanswa ochina die na medie obire oni pani obire obra eni wara obra
Papalaw Radio, straight up.
Alright, so welcome back. On my baby, if you knew me in Ghana, you know. One some ya the Nippon Ghana, you may not here. On Papalaw Radio, we give you the best on Mpɔtam show. Economic stabilization and recovery. Provisional estimate from the Ghana Statistical Service, GSS.